My name is Greg Friedrich, and I've been building cars my whole life. I have a shop called Gizmos. Our cars are hand-built. Our race cars win car shows, and our show cars win races. Our cars are as beautiful as they are functional. I had a client that was a good friend, and we shared the same passion and dream. We had a partnership on a land speed car. Our goal was to do 200 miles per hour. We got close, but then it all came to an end. It felt like unfinished business. Sometimes, you just have to start over.
So what I'll do first is I'll take this cutoff wheel here and I'll cut up just underneath my line, and that'll give me a good start to finally trimming up to that spot. All right, so now I can go back and I can grind right up to that line here, and that'll get us 99% of the way there. Well, we're pretty close right now. It's just important to keep checking your piece. You don't want to take off too much at once. It's easy to take off a lot of material, but it's not easy to put it back. So I can see I need to go a little bit more right here. So I'll just mark that, my scribe again, and then we will grind a little bit more. So that should be pretty close right there. We'll take our piece, double check that fit, and that looks pretty good. So as a final step here, what I'll do is I'll take a file, and just to get it nice and consistent, that little burr off, I'll just take and file that edge a little bit. Pretty good. Check our piece one more time. That's a pretty good fit. We got one spot up in the corner. We can maybe grab again. If you've got one spot that's kind of out of whack, it'll keep the whole piece from fitting right. That looks pretty good. I'm going to trim this up just a little bit too. So just got to just manipulate it by hand a little bit. Just get everything to fit right. There we go. I think that fits pretty good. Is just clean up this edge a little bit, and I'm also going to take off this die cam here from our edge so we can get a nice weld. So all this is just lacquer thinner, and this will take off the rest of our die cam spray here and just kind of clean up the metal a little bit before we go to tack weld it in. This is an exciting part. Should probably showcase proper welding safety with my long sleeve shirt on. Otherwise, everyone's going to sue me for getting cancer. Just for tacking stuff, it's usually you turn your head quick and do this. You go to weld, you want to, because it'll go through your eyeball lids too. So don't look at it. Oh, right there, right there. All right, so there's our piece in place. We left it long at the back here just because we're not sure what we're going to do with this fender lip yet. So it's always good to have extra. What I can do now is just scooch this original piece back just a hair. Line it up really nice with that. That looks pretty good. And then we'll get these two tacked together. Do one at the top. One right there. That's what I want. Everyone's going to comment and say that that's not the right way to do it, and then I'm going to get all kinds of cancer, but they're wrong. All right, so now we got our piece in place here. We got this back piece in and it'll fit nice. We'll have to go back and do just a little bit of hammer and dolly work up in here to get this to flow perfectly, but really right now it could go off to paint. It's pretty overkill. So I'll start laying out tack weld lines here every 1.5 inches, and then we'll just slowly start working it in place and getting it all up and tacked together. Just a little line. And that way my tacks will be all nice and even. And that way when I go to weld it, I'll have nice, even heat zones. When you weld sheet metal, you don't want to do it all just in one go. You kind of want to bounce around a little bit, or else the metal will get too hot and it'll warp like crazy. So by kind of going back and forth, that sort of helps keep the heat from building up too much in one section or another. Keeps the distortion to a minimal. For these tacks, I'm not using any filler. You know, it's just got a really good fit to it. It's important to go in order so that you don't kind of get down here and then realize that you're off somewhere in the middle. You want to keep working it down and get that seam nice and good. So basically that's just the whole process. It's slow and it's tedious, but working it this way leads to less work in the end, and it's the right way to do it. So that's what we've got. About 100 more tacks down this rocker panel.